Split Second is a British science fiction horror released in 1992, directed by Tony Maylam.
It stars the fantastic Rutger Hauer as Stone. Cliched cop working in London, a future London. Well, future when it was made.
2008.
2008. The heady future of 2008.
Past, yeah.
Where global warming is, causing chaos. London is sort of partly underwater after, 40 days and 40 nights of solid rain. Water everywhere. Lots of rats as well. It's all a bit strange. So yeah, he plays this sort of gruff, coffee-swilling, chocolate-eating, anxiety-ridden detective.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 years ago, his partner was killed by this serial killer. This killer's suddenly back, killing people and ripping their hearts out and taking bites out of them. It's got the usual angry chief, played by Alun Armstrong, and then sort of colleagues that don't like him, the main one of which is played by Postlethwaite. Basically, the film is Rutger Hauer either shouting at people or being shouted at, or grabbing a cheeky snog off Kim Cattrall in inappropriate times. So yeah, he's on the case trying to find this killer. He's given a new partner again, classic sort of cop movie trope.
Buddy movie type thing.
And they're completely different. This his partner's called Dick Durpin. No, is that right?
No, it was Dick
Durkin, sorry.
Dick Durkin.
I almost said Turpin. Yeah, he's like a sort of a criminal psychologist kind of, isn't he? And he knows sort of about psychopaths and sociopaths and schizophrenia and things like that. So he keeps wanting to talk to him about it, saying, trying to sort of get a pattern for this killer. And Rutger's having none of it. I mentioned Kim Cattrall. She plays the wife, or obviously the widow of his partner, who Rutger also had an affair with before his partner was killed.
He's not making it any easy for himself,
no,
is he?
It's all a bit of a mess. So yeah, and obviously people continue to get killed, and Stone and Mr. Durkin are sort of one step behind all the way. Yeah. So
well, let's. So he's waiting for this. So I actually suggested this one.
You did.
So there's a reason. So this film features Michael J. Pollard,
who
passed away this week, a few days ago. And I'm a big fan of his. I've seen a lot of his films. He made hundreds of films over his career, but a lot of he was more character actor, and he often turned up in some quite strange movies. He had a few kind of lead roles. He was in Dirty Little Billy, so he played Billy the Kid in that. He was also in Bonnie and Clyde. He made a really good film called Little Faust, Big Halsey. It's a really kind of odd, obscure motorbike picture with Robert. Robert Redford plays like a motorcyclist. It's a really great film. He was in that. He was in Next of Kin with Patrick Swayze. He was in Tango and Cash, Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. Scrooged, he turned up. Scrooged we did Last Christmas. And he's one of those actors that just turned up in a lot of stuff over the years. Hannibal Brooks, Michael Winner film with Oliver Reed. So I chose this one.
Of all the ones
I could have chosen anything. I chose this one. But we did The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer, who also passed away this year.
And Surviving the Game.
And Surviving the Game, of course, we did that too. I was looking on Amazon Prime. This was on Amazon Prime. Okay, let's do this one. And then I'd never seen it before, and then you said you had it on Blu-ray and you'd never watched it.
I hadn't watched it. I bought it, dead in a sale, dirt cheap. And I thought, I've never seen that. Let's give it a go. Love a bit of Rutger.
So I started watching it, and I thought, uh-oh. But actually, I enjoyed it.
It's fun, isn't it?
I thought it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I did get, with a lot of these films, I get a little bit bored by the end. Although that's when Michael J. Pollard turns up.
Yeah,
he's not in it.
I was like, where is he? Where is he?
Yeah. And he's like right at the end. But weirdly, and that's why I picked it, because I was looking online, kind of reading about Michael J. Pollard, and I found a page on Reddit about him. And a lot of people were mentioning The Ratcatcher. So it seems like a lot of people remembered him from this film.
Yeah.
That's why I chose this film. Because I thought, well, what is this film? But he's not in it. Like, he's right at the end of the film. And by which point, I was getting a little bit tired of it. Although he's great in it. And Michael J. Pollard was great because he was just odd. He was a small guy, and he did a lot of weird make strange facial expressions. So kind of, I suppose, maybe a cult character in a lot of cult films. But yeah, so a lot of people remembered him for The Ratcatcher, and that's kind of why I chose the film. But I mean, it's a B movie. It's a complete and utter B movie.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a rip-off of Alien and Predator and Terminator
Blade
and all
Runner,
those. Blade Runner. There's definitely, I mean, obviously Rutger Hauer is in there.
Yeah.
There's a feeling of a tone. I personally found it reminded me a lot of Hardware. There was a lot of that going on there, the tone of it. But it's a lot of fun. There's some really good stuff in there. And it's odd because, well, I mean, I didn't quite know why. I didn't quite know what was set in the future. Most of those films are.
Just because.
Just because, exactly. And why it was set in Britain, again.
But that, I think that adds
which adds to it.
Yeah, because it did. While all the characters, like I said, you got the shouty chief and the annoyed colleagues and the love interest and the annoying new partner and things like that, which are all complete cliches and are in so many films. Because it was set in London, that made it a bit different. Because
it did.
It was nice to see them with British accents for once.
Yeah, they did love to show you all the British icons. It was like a great tour, bus top tour of London.
Yeah.
So you got, there's Canary Wharf, there's St Paul's Cathedral, there's Big Ben, there's the Houses of Parliament. Just so you know you're in London. It was weird actually because I watched it last night.
Yeah.
And yesterday I had to go to St Paul's Cathedral yesterday for work. So I was literally like, I've just been there. Amazing. How cool is that? So.
But it talks about the sort of flooding everywhere, but then it has like an aerial shot of London. And yes, there's water, but that's not. That's the water that's normally there in it's the Thames obviously, and there's other docks and things like that.
Because the whole thing is that, I mean, it's quite almost prophetical because it's about global warming and that's kind of the initial setup. I found it had heart. There was like a nice emotional story in there, and perhaps because, I mean, Kim Cattrall, and she's great in this, but she's not, I mean, there's your typical 80s nudie shower shot. But I just felt like there was a bit more to her in the film. Rutger Hauer's relationship, he's not just trying to get her into bed.
No.
There's something else. He clearly cares about her, and there's something a little bit deeper going on. So I felt there was heart to this film. It wasn't just a kind of, kill everything in sight. Oh, there was a lot of that going on in there. And it's some quite ridiculous set pieces. But it's a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. You got Ian Jury in there, and the blockheads. And I think that's what also was interesting. So you've got Alun Armstrong, who's from New Tricks and many other great TV stuff over here. Pete Postlethwaite, of course, he's a great British actor. Sadly, passed away a few years ago. They seem to be taking it very seriously and being great actors in quite a ridiculous movie. And you think, what did they think they were making something that was going to be a hit here?
I don't think so.
I don't know, but they. I mean, there's a very funny moment. Are we going to spoil it? Are we going to talk about spoilers?
I don't know in what way.
In the killer's way. Because it's not just a serial killer, is it?
No, I mean,
something else going on there. But then there's a bit of demonology going on there.
Pentagrams and things like that.
There's a very funny moment when Alun Armstrong is basically screaming about, putting an APB out on the devil. Yeah. And the whole line, the whole bit of dialogue is hilarious. But he's doing it so serious. He's doing it like some, Shakespeare actor would. Which I just found amazing. Yeah, I enjoyed it, I have to say. I thought it was, like I said, I was losing steam a little bit by the end. It's got everything in there. It's got your weird S&M club they go to. It's quite gory, actually. There's a few. I recognised a shot in it. So the first murder that happens is in this club, and this woman goes into the loos, toilets. I sound so British, don't I?
Yes.
Into the loo, and she's murdered. But the shot of the camera pans down and you see her body. I was like, oh god, I know that. It was a death metal band called Aborted, and they used that image on the front cover of one of their albums, Purity of Perversion. I think that's the album cover, and that's where I was like, I know that from that. So that's the thing. If you grew up listening to extreme metal, you often saw, all the album covers, imagery of those bands. A lot of things came from gore, horror films, science fiction and stuff like that. So that's where that was from. So there's a lot of quite cool imagery in this film, I think, and a lot of playfulness. There's a great scene I was reading, and you can tell it if you watch the film. There's a scene where his partner, I think it's what he finds out his name is Harley.
Yeah.
And he cracks up. He totally cracks up in the scene. Rutger Hauer holds it together just, and they kept it in the film because he's such a great actor. You know, he may be in a completely not so crazy film, but he's still taking it seriously, and he holds it together. And it's a great moment, and the other guy is clearly laughing his arse off, can't hold it together.
When we talked about the Hitcher, Rutger, you know, even that he's playing a killer, but he's got a little glint in his eye.
Oh, he's
And it just always sells it, and it's so watchable.
He loves. It's almost like he loves. I'm sure every actor loves being an actor, but he gets so, because I suppose because he never really. I mean, Blade Runner's a great film. It's like it's a classic film, obviously, but he was one of those actors that seemed to go the kind of, you know, almost did a lot of these types of films. He never really got to the, you know, the great.
He was never in the A-list, was he?
He was never in the A-list, no, and he did a lot of B movies, but he seemed to relish doing them.
Yeah.
And whatever he got, he just had a lot of fun doing them. And he's such a. I personally haven't seen a lot of his. You've probably seen a lot more than I have. I mean, we obviously did the Survivalist, and
No, Surviving the Game. We did do the Survivalist, but Rutger wasn't in
we
that.
did. He wasn't in that, was he?
Was it in the 90s when he used to do was it Heineken adverts?
Oh yeah, of course he did.
You know, he was on the telly all the time, wasn't it?
So yeah, I mean, I think this one's a lot of fun, and obviously we did it kind of to celebrate Michael J. Pollard's life a little bit. It's not taking itself too seriously, but it has heart.
Yeah,
and it's got some great set pieces.
It's some fun
Some
characters.
great lines. It's got some great lines.
Yeah.
There's a line about big effing guns.
Yeah.
Big effing guns.
Yeah, the scene where they go and get tooled up basically to go and fight this killer, and they trying to find the biggest guns they can. I think the guy, whatever his name, whatever his position is, the armory guy, I don't know.
Oh,
he's
Pat.
Is that his name in it?
Yeah, he was in
Bill and Ted.
Yeah, he plays Socrates or
Socrates. Yes. Because I saw him like, oh, what do I know him from?
Tony Steedman, and strangely, he plays the head waiter in Scrooged, the one that goes on fire.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Which of course Michael J. Pollard is in as
yes,
well.
There you go. Wow.
Because he was a British actor, and he actually died quite a few years ago, in Sussex, in like Hayward Heath, I think he died in. So maybe that's why Michael J. Pollard was in this film, because they worked together in Scrooged.
Maybe. Yeah,
odd. He did the old American film, but he did lots of British stuff as well. Yeah, it was him. I was like, oh yeah,
yes, I knew.
Crazy.
I know you.
Yeah.
But I thought, I don't know what your character name is or anything, so I don't know how to look you up. But then, well, yeah.
I was like, all over that.
Because you see him earlier in the film, and I even rewound it.
He's at the beginning, isn't he?
Yeah, and I rewound it, but you don't see a great shot of him because he's like behind a sort of a wire mesh. I thought, I know who that is. And then you see him again later, and I was like, yes, it's Socrates.
It is Socrates from Bill and Ted. It's amazing. I was going to say, do you have it? But we do have it, because I said at the beginning you have it on DVD.
So, yeah,
on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it was released by 101 Films, one of the cult labels over here in the UK. And I think they had a sale a few months ago, and I picked up a few discs. I can't remember.
On their website?
Yeah, on their actual website, yeah. I can't remember how much I paid for it. It wasn't a lot, though, but I thought, can't be about Rutger, I'm going to give it a go. And of course, as soon as I bought it, it then popped up on Amazon, so I was like, typical. But never mind. But yeah, I hadn't got around to watching it yet, so it's a good opportunity to watch it. It's not the most expensive film ever made, so it was never going to look amazing. But, it's all right. There's a Japanese cut, which I think there's a German Blu-ray, which I think has that version on it. But this has got the footage from the Japanese that has been cut out of the normal version that's in the Japanese cut. I'm not making a lot of sense of that. Anyway, it's got the footage which you can watch as almost like a deleted scene, and it's basically one scene where Dick Durkin talks about his girlfriend, basically how he gets laid every night, and Rutger's very surprised by that and also a bit jealous, I think. Right. But we go and I think they're going to go and tell her to leave town, I think, because of this killer being on the loose. So they go to Dick Durkin's apartment, and we meet her. But it's really rough footage, and there's Japanese subtitles on it. But it's an interesting little extra that it's obviously just a slightly different version that's out there. And then you can see where it slots into the film because it cuts to one of the murders, which again we see a slightly extended version of.
Right, there we go.
So yeah, but apart from that, nothing else on it. But yeah, I got it pretty cheap. Can't remember how much I paid for it, but it's not hard to find and not not particularly expensive. So, but again, you can, if you've got Amazon Prime, you can watch it on there anyway.
So that was Split Second, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, let us know in the comments below.
Hit the subscribe button up there, and don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. There's some other videos to check out over there. Come and find us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and come back next week for another video.